Hello, warm greeting everyone. It's me, Jivan Dhakal. As usual, I am here for the discussion. Today, I have our respected personality, our special guest, Chandra Yogi. And today, our subject matter is about grammar. We know that grammar is one of the main part of English language. Okay, and without grammar we cannot make any sentence. The grammar is one of the item which is used to organize the what different elements of the English. Okay, and I have told to our respected personality or our guest Tara sir, and today we are going to talk about grammar, okay, and how to teach grammar because and what is the importance of grammar and how to teach grammar. What are the approaches of teaching grammar? Okay, we will talk on such matter. Okay, without doing any delay, I would like to welcome our English language teacher, respected personality, Tara Chandra Yogi. Sir, you are welcome.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
The subject matter for today is grammar. Okay.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about the grammar, the importance of teaching grammar.
Yes.
Okay. The different approaches or different method of teaching
Yes.
grammar. Okay. And we people say that some of the people say that the teaching should be taught through rules to example. And some of the people, other scholars say that the grammar should be taught from rule to example to rule. There are so many views according to the people. Okay, and in the context of Nepal, and which method is appropriate. Okay, and how can we teaching grammar? We will be on this subject matter today. Okay, and without doing delay,
Yes.
I would like to put questions, sir. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. And at first, we know that grammar is taken as a backbone or skeleton of English. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and it is important. And
Yes.
there is a very important saying or one sentence. Grammar is the skeleton and the vocabulary is the face of the English. It is said. Okay. And in your view, or
Yes.
how do you understand grammar? What do you mean by grammar, sir?
Grammar, you see that is a very essential thing to learn any kind of language because every language has got its own grammar.
Yes, sir.
And without grammar, it is little bit difficult to understand the ideas, items of making sentences or using sentences in good reference.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
So almost every every language has got its own grammar. And the same case is with Hindi language, with Nepali language, with English language too. We can say that it's a collection of some rules and regulations of making sentences of a particular language. If we come to know or we study the grammar of any language, it becomes easier to us to understand and to make sentences in a grammatical and systematic way. Otherwise, it will be broken language. That's
Yes,
why grammar is a collection of some rules and regulation of a particular language that assist us, that help us in
Yes, sir.
making a sentence systematic way. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Grammar is one of the systematic ways of ways. Okay. And next, also, I would like to ask that is it
Yes.
essential or important for teaching English grammar to our students? What do you want to say?
Yeah. I said that because English is not our language. Right? We are Nepalis and we use Nepali language, and that we don't have to learn through any expert because that's our own native language, and we automatically learn. Our children, our babies can talk in Nepali language. There is not a problem. But in case of English grammar, because English is an international language and
Yes, sir.
is a new language for us, and it is a foreign language. That's why it is very essential if we teach grammar to our students. It will help them to understand the ways and rules of making a formation of sentences, it is a lot of things are there in grammar. So I think it is very much essential to teach grammar for to our kids, to our students, to our learners. Yes,
Yes, sir. And next also you told that the grammar should be taught, okay, in our to our
Yeah.
learners. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
most of the people or the most of the means scholars say that the
Yeah.
grammar or in which grammar is related to grammar translation method, okay, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say that grammar shouldn't be taught. If the grammar is taught, the there it grammar lack the what to say fluency in the speaker. Yes. Does it really lack the fluency of the learners?
No,
What
I
do you
don't
want to
think
say on
so.
this?
I
Mhm,
don't think so
mhm,
because I don't know why they say so.
mhm,
But in my case, whatever I
mhm,
have, whatever the sentence I'm making, they all are
mhm,
according to grammar. They are
mhm,
grammatically correct,
mhm,
semantically correct, and
mhm,
I try myself phonetic to make them phonetically also correct.
mhm,
So in this very in this very case, what I would like to say that I haven't met anybody who says so.
mhm,
I hear some people say, but
mhm,
they always what to say that avoid me.
mhm,
They never come front to discuss with me why grammar
mhm,
is not required.
mhm, mhm.
And if you say that even today books, syllabuses, everything are according to the rules and regulations, according to the grammar. In
Yes, sir.
every grade of our schools, you will find the grammar uh, it- items being taught to the students. In India, there is separate grammar, separate book for grammar. That
Mhm.
comes of 50 marks.
Yes, sir.
Here in Nepal, we teach integrated grammar well. We have
Mhm,
integrated grammar portion into the chapters lessons,
mhm,
and at the last of the chapters lessons text we find some grammatical items to be practiced. But in my opinion, grammar should be taught separately, but it should be integrated the time of using. So I don't think or I don't believe that grammar can be left, and without grammar there can be a sentence, there can be a language. For broken language, broken spoken, that's another thing. Even
mhm.
there is subject, there is verb. Okay, if someone understands, that's okay. But for formal teaching, grammar is essential. That is required. I have to say this much only.
Yes, sir. You are right, sir. I also think so. I am also against those who say that who are against the grammar. Also, I am also because
Yeah,
only speaking is not sufficient. The
yeah,
thing we spoken or written, it may be in the any
yeah.
form that should be understood clearly. Okay, I know.
Yes, of
And
course.
next thing, sir. We know that there are mainly two approaches. Okay, and rule driven
Uh,
approach it means deductive approach, and rule discovery approach that is inductive approach. We know.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
and would you mind telling the difference between inductive and deductive approach of teaching grammar?
yes, right.
Mm,
So, uh, the deductive and inductive teaching methods you are talking about is
mhm,
not just for teaching grammar only.
mhm.
That's the way, that's the method of teaching English in our classes.
Yes, sir.
So, the difference between them is that deductive is related with dictations.
Yes, sir.
When we dictate any rules and regulations
Mhm,
to the students, how to make a sentence, when we teach them first
mhm,
rules and regulations, when we give them first example, and then tell them to follow the rules,
mhm,
and then to make sentences. That
mhm,
is deductive way of teaching, deductive method of teaching, like that. Well, for example, if we say that first you put subject, then you put verb, and after that you put objects, like that, and make
mhm,
a sentence. So that is the deductive way of teaching, deductive method of teaching.
mhm,
And if we see that here is a sentence,
mhm,
watch carefully,
mhm,
and then make another sentence on the basis of it.
mhm,
Then what happens? A child or a learner pays more attention and tries to find out himself or herself the ideas then he or she tries to make another sentence being depend upon that very example. But that's the inductive teaching. So difference is that in deductive teaching method, we dictate rule first. We tell them first rules and regulation. Then the students will learn and work out. And in the same way, when we give them first examples and we say them carry out the rules and regulation themselves and to make sentence, then what happens? That is called inductive method of teaching. And this is but in our schools deductive methods is more suitable, and we'll talk it later on also. But your question gets the answer this way. In deductive teaching, teacher dictates the rules and regulation, and then he or she get students make sentence being upon that. And in inductive, that students teacher provide them some structure, one example, and being depend upon that very example, the students make other sentences or do the work. This much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
You have made me
Yes.
also clear. Okay, not only the audience but also me.
Yes.
Okay, you have made clear. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. You are right, sir. You are right. Why? Because especially there are mainly two approaches: deductive and inductive
Yes.
approach. Especially in the
Yes.
deductive approach, only the rules are given to the learners, or the rules are what was given, and the students are told, or they are taught to develop thousands of the examples through by following on rules. Okay, they can.
Yes.
But if the students are taught in inductive technique, they should what to say. It means it is good. It is better. Okay, but in the context of Nepal, it may not be better, because there is
Yes.
not sufficient exposure, also any different means what teaching material also, no matter. And you told that the deductive method is deductive and inductive approach. You told about that. Okay, and which method would you like to refer for teaching grammar to our teachers?
Yes. But I would like to say that if our teachers or anybody is going to teach grammar to our students, then they should follow the deductive methods, because our students have already become habitual of using these things. And moreover, this language is far different than our language. It's a foreign language. Students will not grab you. Students will not be able to understand you. And it will be very much difficult to explain children also. That's why deductive teaching method will be suitable for teaching grammar in reference of Nepal or in context of Nepali students. That will be easier for teachers as well as for students too, because many exposures, many books are available in the market of grammar. If a teacher says them to buy any book and go lesson by lesson through that book, it will be easier to both teachers and students. But if they go to inductive methods, it will be very difficult to find them teaching materials as well, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You told that deductive is suitable for teaching grammar. Okay, it is appropriate in the context of Nepal. Okay, sir. In the context of
Yeah,
Nepal,
right.
inductive also may be better. Okay, it is one of the method for teaching grammar, but only deductive appropriate in the context of Nepal. Okay,
Right.
where the English is spoken or taken or the used as a what foreign language. Okay,
Foreign language.
you told the deductive approach is better for teaching in the context of Nepal. And why did you refer that deductive technique for teaching grammar? Why did you refer that?
Yes, I refer that very method because inductive teaching it takes much time. It consumes much time, and we have a certain period in our classes. Well, of 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and and in that very 45 minutes, teacher consumes himself or herself reaching their 5 minutes is already wasted, and remain only 40 minutes with the students. Some of the students to go for their short toilets like that, and by the time they come, it is 5 minutes already again wasted. Means only 30 minutes is remaining. Within the 30 minutes, a teacher has to teach everything for the students. They have to teach them everything, and sometimes they have to maintain classroom also. So hardly 20 minutes remains in the hands of a teacher. And if in that way 20 minutes a teacher uses his inductive teaching method, then I don't think the item will be fully taught in that same period. That will remain half because lack of the time. So that is why it is better that a teacher should use inductive method of teaching, because it does not take much time to them, and students will easily copy down rules and regulations, and they can use their mind. They can do mental exercise. I don't think there is anything wrong with the deductive method. But in inductive method, it is a time consuming things. The exposure is very less, and our students are a little bit slow too. So that is why I say that teaching at the time of teaching grammar, and that deductive method will be more suitable for our students.
Okay, sir. You told that the deductive method is more suitable. Okay. You also told why the deductive methods be taught. Okay. And next also, I want to ask you, raise you question, because you told only deductive method is appropriate. Do you see any defect or any disadvantage in teaching grammar in inductive technique? Because you told only deductive is appropriate.
Yes. Yes, but inductive teaching means generated rules and regulation by the students themselves.
Yes, sir.
So it is, I think, very difficult to generate any kind of rules and regulation by one himself or herself. It's a problem not only small but grade students. It is little difficult for higher grade class students too. Generate rules and regulation takes much time. It is a time consuming work and not suitable in context of Nepal as well.
Yes, sir.
Because if you for example, if you give a sentence and say, now find out the subject, where is subject, where is verb, where is object, and then if you say, on the basis of that, see the tense also, make another sentence in the same type and the same tense, then it will take in a maximum time. Or either a teacher will have to divide the class into groups. It's a pair work also. So in making pair only, the time is consumed in the classroom. Because of the lack of or shortage of the time, this inductive teaching method is not suitable for especially lower level of the students. It may be suitable for teaching higher level of the students, for example 11, 12, if they go from the beginning, because it's not a so easy task to generate a rule. That's why I say that it's a time consuming work. Its exposure is less. Its teaching methods too are not available. It's very difficult to find out, and moreover our children are habitual of deductive method. We have been doing this for a long time. A sudden change in this process will demoralize them, and they will be little bit discouraged too. That's why better that we should use deductive teaching. Inductive teaching in a very short sentence, it is a time consuming work. Either the period should be of 1 hour, 60 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Then only one item can be easily expressed, taught, practiced in the classroom. Otherwise, it is, I think, difficult. For me, at least, it is difficult. I don't know what other friends are doing. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You told that there is lag of exposure, lag of time, teaching material also. You told.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
And it means the only deductive technique should be used from elementary level to advanced level, or in which level is the inductive technique appropriate, or inductive technique is not appropriate in any level in the Nepal, in the context of Nepal? What do you want to say on this? What was the question?
Yes, yes, yes. Your question is very nice. What I mean to say that I do not mean that inductive teaching is totally unsuitable or is not suitable in our context. And I don't want to say that even then that inductive teaching is totally wrong. That's nice. That's very much helpful because it brings a critical situation for the student, and they do critical analysis as well. Because at the time of generated rule from an example, then for example, if I give one sentence, Ram goes there, and I say them now, see the example and try to find out the parts of his speech, try to find out their tense, and transform them into negative or change into interrogative. So these all are inductive teaching aspects and system. But what happens for these things? The students should have come to know first what is actually subject, what is actually a verb, what is actually an object, what is a noun, what is an adjective, what is a verb. So these all the parts of his speech should have already been taught before putting such questions. So to generalize a rule from a difficult situation to a simple situation or general situation is a difficult task. So this teaching system, this method can be suitable for the higher level of learners only. I think it should be either in grade 11 or 12 or above them in bachelor levels. Because what we see, the situation condition of English in Nepal is far different than its reality. From outward, we say that he's reading in 12th class. But if you make him sit beside you, and if you take some test, you won't find he has got that kind of real knowledge in him. We are bearing certificates only. You see the SC exams. What is going here there? What's happening there? Almost every day the question paper is out. So many people are arrested in doing that illegal work. This is the system. This is the situation of Nepal. In this condition, if we think that he is reading 10th class and he can do the work on inductive system, it will be difficult, except some of the talented students. Either we have to make their group. For those only, we can do that. Otherwise, this inductive system teaching matters will be suitable for higher classes, higher level of students above 12 class. By the time they reach there, they have come to know many things. So I don't think it will be difficult for them for understanding. And they have enough time also. And the most important thing is that when you have enough time, I mean there about 1 hour, in coaching classes, tuition classes like that, when you are totally free to use these all the things, when you have collected all the related teaching items and teaching materials with you, when you have enough exposures, then only this inductive teaching system can be useful for our students. In a general way, in a very common situation, difficult to use this message.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are nearly at the end of our program. Okay. And I would like to ask you one question in the difference of learner engagement and learner participation or the activeness. Okay. And people, it means most of the people tell that it is means we listen that the learner are passive in deductive technique and they are active in inductive. Most of the people say, but I don't think so, because if we give them one rule, they can generate thousands of the example, okay, themselves. But I don't think that the deductive technique, the students are not passive. Or what do you think on the reference on this that matter, sir? This question. What do you think?
Well, yes, sir.
In the reference of
when we are in the classroom, yes. You see that when we are in the classroom, there are two so that two bodies they are there. We can divide the classroom into two parts. Well, one aspect is one element is student, right? Another is a teacher. Yes. So what you mean to say that our people, you have listened saying people that in deductive teaching math students are passive. They do not become active. They are lazy, and they sometimes they sleep also. You might say so.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Well, I don't believe. The
Yes,
reason
sir.
is that the reason behind is that it depends upon the teacher.
Yeah.
If teacher stands in one side only, there are some rules and regulation how to represent a class. Well, when you are before a class, then there are certain rules for a teachers too. Number one, that your voice should be in a limit. In a limit, it should neither very harsh nor very shallow too. Number two, you should not stand in one place. You should be moving from corner to corner, watching every student. So if you are standing in one side and telling or dictating only the rules, definitely some of the students who are backside, well, might be sleepy, might be little bit lazy. But if you make a round, you dictate a rule, you write a rule on the board, students are copying that. At that very time also, if you making round, if you reach approaching to them, if you're watching them, if you go back at the back of the classroom, end of the benches too, then I don't think students will be there, will be sleeping, will be lazy, because no matter they do not afraid of you, but there is a psychological effect on them. The teacher is watching us, so none of them will be lazy or inactive, passive. I mean, and but in they are right in another way also, from their point of view. That is, they are correct also, because in inductive teaching, what happens? A man has to do much work. A man has to spend much time, and he has to do more mental work too. If he because he has to generalize the rule, then definitely he will have to spend much time. He will have to do much mental exercise. So definitely in inductive teaching, students are more active in comparison of deductive teaching. But it does not mean that the students, while we teach in through deductive method, will be quite passive or will not do anything. It's not like that. But some difference is there, certainly, and but there is difference of time consuming to me, because they are consuming enough time, so they will be active, certainly, and we have shortage of time. But both the things are correct. But if someone says that students are totally passive while we use deductive method, so I am not 100% agree with them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
I also think so, sir.
what do you
Because
think?
they are engaging.
Yeah.
They are engaged in doing that work also, because they are only given one example, but they are made to. If the students are only taught rule, that is not good also. The students are passive. If
Yes.
the students are given rules
Yes.
and they are asked to make rule, okay, they are active. They can make any examples also. They
Yes,
can also.
one more thing is yes, one more thing is also there. When a teacher finds that students are passive, a student should not teach only in the classroom.
Yes, sir.
He do some brainstorming too. He should try to find out if the students are feeling dizziness, if they are feeling sleepiness, if they are a little bit passive, then there are a lot of other things to make them active.
Yes, sir.
A teacher can stop for some time writing on the board. He can approach to him. He may ask, because there might be many reasons of passiveness why a student become passive, because of some illness, also sickness too. So he should do some recreations, some entertainment there. Teaching should be interesting. Teaching should be lovely. It should be full of interest, and how to make a class interesting, that's also duty of a teacher. Students are passive, it does not mean that teacher should also be passive. Teacher can tell, okay, stop children, I have got one job for you.
Yeah.
He can tell a joke, a story, some references, and then, okay, children, that's much. Okay, now let's start again our work, he should say, and children will again start doing work. When a student feels a load on him or her,
Yes, sir.
he or she definitely becomes passive. They should pull off interest, joy, pleasure, and this kind of atmosphere is made by the teacher. Teacher should have some techniques, no, how to make the students active. That is only blaming the methods, that deductive method makes the students lazy, passive. I don't think that is the what any kind of logic behind it.
Yes, sir.
It happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so
Yes.
much, sir. And at last, I would like to reflect our program, sir. Okay, and what do we discuss? Okay, and according to you, okay, and grammar is the set of rules, and there are mainly two approaches of teaching grammar: deductive and inductive. Okay, okay, and mainly in the context of Nepal, in the context of our country. Okay, according to the label, according to the that what the status of English. Okay, in our country, the mainly
Yeah.
deductive approach is appropriate, okay, in the context of our country, you told. And next thing also, to apply inductive approach, okay, there should be that exposure, good exposure, next materials, okay, authentic materials also, and what to say, and it
Enough
means,
time.
yeah, enough time also, you told. Okay, I am also with that, and I was also searching same answer what you told today, because in I told, I most of the people say I told, it means only not people, I also studied in book, the deductive inductive technique
Yes.
should be applied. Yes, I am also agree, inductive should be applied, it is better technique, but mainly there is also a problem in the context of Nepal. It is not
Yes.
suitable in the context of Nepal. It is better. We don't criticize that inductive technique is what not good. Okay, it is
Yes.
what, and we don't say we are not against inductive approach, but only
Yes, sir.
we are telling that in the context of our country, according to the exposure status of our country, according to the English status of English in our country, deductive is appropriate. Okay,
You're right.
that's
Yes.
it. Okay,
You're
thank you,
right.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. And at last, what message do you want to convey to the grammar lover, English lover, or the teacher and the students in the difference of teaching
Well,
grammar?
yes. What I would like to say that teaching is not an easy task. Number one,
Yes.
we all have to realize that teaching learning activities are not very easy tasks. They are very difficult because teaching and learning are related with the mind of a person,
Yes, sir.
and it is a regular. There should be regular network and connection between the teacher and the learner. That connection, that network should not be broken anyway, and but it can easily be broken. So we should be careful regarding these things, lest any thing should not disturb it. This should not break that connection. In reference of grammar, what I would like to say that deductive method is, in my opinion, 98% very easy and very good and accessible to for teaching grammar to our students, because they have become habitual of listening teachers and writing and copying from the board. Now if we suddenly change these things, it will disturb their understanding capacity as well. And moreover, we do not have this kind of habit of doing from the beginning elementary classes. So deductive teaching method is more suitable in teaching English grammar. And as well as what I would like to, if we are teaching to our Nepali students, then we can use sometimes mother tongues too in some of the situations when a student feels a dilemma. No, sometimes it happens because it's not our language. I think myself too is not very perfect in these things. So many experts are required. I expect that they should come front and comment on my English too, so that I could be able to learn something from them. I know a lot of famous people are here in my country. A lot of PhD holders are here. And I would like to request them through this very video to please come in my contact and help me in my English. So if I have to say, I would like to say again that only deductive teaching can be suitable in our context, because we don't have enough time. We have limited time. In inductive teaching method consumes much time. So if we have enough time, we can do that. But generally in our classes, we have to do this much only.
Thank you so much, sir, for your participation and discussion. Okay, and you have made
Oh.
the you have what to say opened the eye of our learners and our teachers also, who are only what telling inductive technique is better, but they are not using. Okay, and but
Yes.
the status, the situation of their student is low, not good, but only they are
Yeah.
only advocating only the inductive is better. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. We don't have time, sir. Now it is time for departing. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to request our audience for being regular in our that program also. And you can also participate, and you can also express your views. Okay, on the some matter. Okay. Thank you, sir.